The Office has become one of the greatest staples in comedy over the last 14 years. After binging the whole series on Netflix, I'm officially hooked. Not too long after binging, I discovered the Dunderpedia website and found out a whole bunch of information on behind-the-scenes facts about every episode from every season. So I thought it would be fun and interesting to make a 9-part video series covering an interesting fact from every episode from every season. Now, I know you're thinking, wait, isn't that what Angela Kinsey and Jenna Fisher are doing on their new podcast, Office Ladies? Yeah, and you don't have to watch this. This is just a fun idea for me to do. Plus, they're only doing one episode at a time, where I'm doing multiple episodes at a time for, each season. Plus, I had this idea before the podcast was even announced. I'm also going to try to be ahead of the podcast. While we're on the subject, go subscribe to Office Ladies. It's a great podcast. So with that all out of the way, today we're looking at Season 5. The maple syrup, lemon juice, cayenne pepper, and water cleanse diet that Kelly is on in weight loss is also known as the Master Cleanse or Lemonade diet. While the exterior of Michael and Holly's date and business ethics was filmed at Cooper Seafood in Scranton, the interior was filmed in Los Angeles. Moe's actor and show writer Michael Schur's real-life wife and son could be seen in baby shower when Michael was dancing with 2 babies. In Crime Aid, Jim leaves with the warehouse guys to get a beer. In the following scene, though, he is seen sitting behind Creed. Andy and Dwight mimicking each other in Employee Transfer is a lot like how Jim and Dwight mimicked each other in Product Recall. In both episodes, the first imitator leaves the victim so frustrated that the latter humiliates himself with an attempt at payback. After a customer survey aired, Kelly's America's Got Talent mugs went up for sale on the NBC online store. A lot of the information about Winnipeg and business trip is fake. There is no sushi restaurant there called Metsuki. There is also no pub there called the Huntsman in the Financial District, which is also known as the Exchange District. Nor is there an Astro Cleaners. And the number 17 bus runs till 1 a.m., not 9 p.m. When Ryan has his food on the reception desk in Frame Toby, you can see that the company Merchant that makes his food, the company's name is not there. It seems to have been blotted out using a liquid paper tool, and this was done likely to avoid product placement and or copyright issues with the company. In the surplus, Jim offers Pam tiramisu cake as a peace offering, which she then throws away. Later in the episode, while giving the speech about the chairs and the copier, Michael says that the office is wasteful and that people throw away tiramisu cake just because there's a little tiny hair on it. This causes Pam to give him a really weird look, knowing that he must have taken it out of the trash and was eating and choking on it the scene before when he was talking to David Wallace. The, quote, invented, unquote, drink that Michael gives Jim in Moroccan Christmas that he likes to call orange vodka juice is actually a screwdriver. Jim, knowing this, teases Michael, saying that he can't believe no one's thought of that, to which a proud and oblivious Michael responds, I know. Michael leaving the Dunder Mifflin building in the duel was actually filmed in New York City, but if you look very closely at the background, a green screen was used. Before going into the Prince Paper building and Prince Family Paper, Dwight says that it would mean rain if the clouds overhead were altocumulus and not cirrostratus. While he is right that cirrostratus does not produce rain, altocumulus doesn't either. Oscar's Spanish rant and stress relief, in English it translates to, you give me an ulcer every time I wake up and I have to come to work. I have to come to work for you. For you. Pam doesn't seem to know Rolando in Lecture Circuit Part 1, even though he was the one to tell her about Michael, Dwight, and Jim's hijinks and branch wars. This can possibly be explained as they only ever talked over the phone. Despite his claims of having superior strength and health, Dwight's lung capacity in Lecture Circuit Part 2 seems to be below average, as he appears to be unable to inflate a balloon. However, this may be due to his inexperience with birthday parties and birthday decorations. Stanley attends Michael's singles mixer and blood drive even though he is married. There are a few shots in Golden Ticket where Dwight is wearing white shoes. Why he is not wearing his regular work shoes is never explained. Since New Boss's storyline revolves around Michael's 15th anniversary working at Dunder Mifflin, and assuming that this episode takes place on its air date, we can assume that Michael has worked at Dunder Mifflin since March 19th, 1994. However, in the Season 7 episode, Michael's Last Undies, Michael has worked at Dunder Mifflin for 9,986,000 minutes as of April 21st, 2011, which was also that episode's air date. If someone would take that figure and have it be, in the beginning of him working his job and not just his time in the office, Michael would have worked at Dunder Mifflin for 19 years as of Michael's Last Undies, and 17 years as of this episode. One also has to take into account that a full year has supposedly passed between Season 6 and 7. 2 weeks is the last episode where Pam is the receptionist at Dunder Mifflin. With Pam no longer working at Dunder Mifflin and Dream Team, the candy jar on the reception desk is empty. During a talking head in Michael Scott Paper Company, Pam mentions how comfortable the chairs are. These are most likely the chairs that she fought for in the surplus. After hanging up the phone in heavy competition, Michael whispers, "Shit, this is not censored." When Dwight runs into the kitchen to tell Charles that Michael Scott Paper Company is broke, the conference room where Ryan, Pam, and Michael are supposed to be in is empty. The church Toby is standing in front of in the photo that he shows us in Casual Friday is the same church where Jim and Pam got married in Niagara. In Cafe Disco, Michael tells Aaron to come down to Cafe Disco anytime because the lock on the door is broken. However, later in the episode, he tells Aaron to shut down Cafe Disco by throwing her a key, meaning that the lock on the door is not broken. The hospital that is used in Company Picnic is the same hospital that is used in the TV show Scrubs. So that's it. If you like this video, you may also like interesting facts from each episode from seasons 1 through 4, and I'm also going to be doing interesting facts from each episode from season 6 to 9, so be on the lookout for that.